Hey guys, so I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this matcha. Obsessed. Today I want to talk about my favorite topic, which is hair science. Specifically, I want to talk about how I've been going with Trichology, how I've been finding it, and just kind of a general update. One of the last update I gave you guys was probably around 6 months ago. And when I finished the exams for Trichology, that was almost a year ago now. So my last update on Trichology was a year ago, and now it seems like the perfect time to kind of give you an update, let you know what it's really like, how I'm finding it, and of course because I'm living in a new country now, and so I'm kind of studying in a different country after coming here and moving here just like 4 months ago. So yeah, it's going to be a really good update, and I really hope that you guys like it. Okay, a lot of you might be wondering why is it in these, why do you do 6 months, why do you do 1 year, and why do you do 2 years? So generally, if you come from a health background, like if you are a dermatologist or a doctor, you would go straight into year 1. But if you don't come from that kind of clinical or medical background, then generally they'll put you through the first 6 months first, and that just gives you all the basics. And then once you've done that and you pass, then you can go on to year 1. Year 1 is far more clinical in nature, as in you're actually put straight into the deep end and you're dealing with patients. So it's actually been a really eye-opening and also an amazing process. Like if you're the type of person that really likes like hands-on kind of actually dealing with people, talking to people, not just, learning things in books, Trichology is amazing because, they're getting you in front of patients, and of course you work with the fully qualified trichologist as part of that process, but you, as part of the clinical training that we do, which for me, because I'm technically still in the international group, then I did a week of block training here right in London, and where you see so many patients and you get the opportunity to just learn off all the amazing teachers and all the qualified trichologists, because they're there hands-on to help through the whole international clinical training week. And I just want to say, like, the International Clinical Training Week was one of the best weeks that I have had. And for me personally, there was so much going on at that time, and it was actually a really challenging week for me, and it was really, really not easy, but I loved the week. Like, it was just, all the people that I'm studying with are just so amazing, and you kind of build like almost like I feel like I've got like my hair science Trichology community, other people that are kind of interested in the same things, and it's just so beautiful having these kind of pockets of community everywhere. And honestly, I think it's really important to have that. We're not meant to kind of do things on our own. We're not meant to do life alone. And so I think that having communities of people that enjoy the same things as you is so, so important. And I really feel like with Trichology, you really get that, You're really, yes, you're put in the deep end. Yes, you have to learn a lot. Yes, you have to learn about microbiology, and you have to learn chemistry, and you have to learn all these things. But you're with a group of people that are like-minded, they love the same things as you, and so you're so supported. And I've just really felt like so supported through this whole journey and the whole of year 1, really. The teachers have been absolutely incredible. And so if you're just wondering about Trichology, or if you've ever thought about pursuing this yourself, like, I would definitely say the Institute of Trichologists has been one of the most supportive distance learning courses that I have ever done, and they've been incredible through year 1. So year 1 is made up of 6 main units, and with all the study, you basically Most of them you get basically a big document which you have to read, and then you complete assignments for every single paper, and you complete the assignments throughout the year, and there's like quite strict deadlines on those, but you normally get a few weeks to do your readings and then do your assignments. Every assignment is slightly different, and I would say the assignments have been slightly more challenging this year and structured a little bit differently. Some of the papers, they give you case studies, and then you have to kind of respond and say what you would do in terms of treatment to a particular case study. So it's definitely more interesting, I would say, than just responding to a question that you could just find in your booklet. This is much more getting the knowledge that you have and then actually applying that. And you're really having to, you know, think about the knowledge that you've gained and then how you would apply that to certain situations, patients, what treatments you would use, and you know how, and the diagnosing process is really, really critical, as well as, you know, the interviewing process and like patient consultations. It's really, really important, and it's something that we've been covering in a lot of depth. We cover off communication skills. That's kind of the main one. That was actually a really enjoyable paper. I really liked that. So an introductory to trichology treatments, as well as hair and scalp disorders. So do the trichologist in consultation, chemistry, and anatomy and physiology. So it's really comprehensive, and a lot of these topics we covered in the first 6 months, but then you start to go into them in a lot more depth. I've got about 3 more papers to actually get through, and my exams for this are going to be in July this year. Still got quite a lot to get through, but it's been actually really enjoyable this year, and I've personally felt a lot more kind of settled and a lot more calm with my study now that I've actually kind of gotten into it. When I originally started the 6 months, it had been almost 10 years since I studied, so it had been a really long time. And now that I'm kind of into the swing of it, I know what I'm doing, I'm feeling more comfy, I'm able to kind of do my scheduling and do my readings and get my assignments done, which has actually been feeling really, really good. I feel like with study, it's one of those things where if you can have it so you structure your time, and the study, you have to do 10, 15 hours of study. And what I do is I break that down into like 3 chunks, and then I schedule that in my calendar and I really stick to that. And even if I just sit at my computer and I just like do a tiny bit during that window, at least I know I've done a little bit, answered half a question or whatever in an assignment. I feel like it's so important, if you make a promise to yourself to kind of stick to that, because then you learn to trust yourself. If you make a plan, you stick to it. And even if you only do something, you don't do it for the whole time, but even if you only do 5 minutes, you fulfilled that promise to yourself, and it actually builds your confidence and makes you feel a lot better about yourself, I think, in the long term. And it's kind of a lot more effort to be studying. I'm working full time. And so that's something that's really helped me. One of the things that I think has been the most surprising, or in year 1, has been the trichological treatments. I was a little bit skeptical about the trichological treatments. I'll be completely honest. I wasn't sure whether, there's so many products out there and there are so many things available to us. And it's just one of those things where you think, okay, well, is this really going to work? Is this really something that we can rely on? But I, for one, tried the trichological treatment myself, and I've actually got friends who I have referred to the Trichology clinic who have got, scalp disorders and issues with their hair. And I can confidently say that these treatments have completely blown my mind. One of the main ingredients that is used in these trichological treatments is cade. And cade is a really, really powerful ingredient which helps with irritation and itchiness, and it is absolutely incredible, and it's so transformational. There's a couple of different steps to it, and it depends on what kind of condition you have, but they put basically like a scalp treatment on, which is left on, and then they wash that off with a special shampoo, and then they put this conditioner through your hair as well. It's just the most beautiful process, I think. And even for people that may not have itchy scalps, might have other types of conditions, it's actually really therapeutic. People come in and they're really quite distressed about their hair, or they're not feeling very comfortable, and it's just the nicest thing for someone to get, you know, quite a lot of pampering, and it's just actually really beautiful. But for the people that have got really itchy scalps, it is so transformational. It's one of these things with when you've got an issue with your scalp or when you've got an issue with your hair, you're really prone to just kind of ignoring it because you don't think it's important. But it's one of those things that kind of just sits in the background. But I just think it's so incredible that these treatments are actually available and that they work, you know, and I just think it's been one of the most beautiful kind of processes that I've seen, you know, us being able to actually get people in, make them feel good, make them feel calm, help them, and, you know, just reducing any irritation and just listening to their story. And the other thing, you guys, about the products and seeing a lot of these patients that come in is it makes you so much more conscious of products and marketing just in general. You know, a lot of people come in to our clinics and they have been to see so many people. They've seen so many things on the internet. They don't even know if they can really trust you because nothing's worked, you know, and no one's listened, and it's just been this whole ordeal for them. And it's just made me really be quite conscious about the products and the formulations that I'm producing and that I have been working on. It's going to be really important, I think, to be focusing on long-term scalp health for people and not flooding the market full of something else that is not really going to make any difference for people's lives. I think that that's going to be really, really important, and it's something that I have really turned my focus on over the last few months. Trichology this year has been so rewarding and so just everything that I wanted it to be and a little bit more. It's been a real undertaking, but it's been 100% worth it. I don't think I would want to spend my time doing anything else. I honestly just think it is one of the most interesting and fascinating subjects. Hair is not just aesthetics, you know, it is really, you know, our hair and our skin is really a barometer of our health. And, you know, if there's something going wrong internally, often that shows up on the hair first. And so it is so interesting to me that as an indicator of what's kind of going on for a person, you know, being able to help people and point people in the right direction. I think that that's so beautiful. And I just couldn't imagine doing anything else, and it is so much fun. You can 100% do trichology if you're not from medical. We have people that are doctors that are doing trichology. We have people that are hairdressers doing trichology. We have dermatologists doing trichology. We've got so many people from so many different backgrounds. You know, some nutritionists will do it, and then some people study trichology and then go on to do further study. I'm completing some postgraduate study in psychology because of the links, furthering my psychology study and working towards my master's. Trichology almost opens this door for you, and then you can kind of go in lots of different directions. Recently we met this lecturer, and she was a hairdresser, she studied trichology, and then she went on to become a doctor, and now she works in the ER departments. There's so many inspiring people that look at, aesthetics, hair, skin, health, mental health, nutrition, body systems. It's just the most incredible thing, and there's so many talented people in this industry. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm constantly learning new things. I think that this journey that I'm going on with trichology and now my postgraduate study in psychology, I'm just going to continue to learn new things, and I hope that I can continue to share that with all of you because it is just such a fascinating topic and I just really love it. And you guys, I really want to spread more awareness about this topic. I think that it's definitely not spoken about enough. A lot of this stuff kind of hides in the shadows, and people feel like they can't necessarily talk about things like if they're suffering from certain conditions or if they've got a problem with their hair and they're not really sure what to do. So, I love spreading awareness on this, and I love talking about it. And I think that the psychology behind that as well is just so interesting to me. And so, yeah, I just want to continue to share. I hope this video was inspiring to you. I hope that I can continue to talk about all of that with you. And yeah, maybe I can inspire someone to start Trichology or move into a space that they have been kind of like thinking about, or thinking, oh, I wish I could do that or whatever. But I just want to tell you that if you've got that in your head, or if you really want to do something, then 100% go for it. You know, it's never too late to do anything. You haven't missed your timing. Literally just go for what you want in life, because you only get one life and it's yours. And just, you know, pursue your dreams, do what you want. And yeah, if you've been thinking about that thing, this is your sign to go for it. Guys, so my next video, I'm thinking, is going to probably be more about behavior, like behaviors that help us get our best hair, and not necessarily about buying a million different products to get. Yeah, I think it's going to be how hair care is mostly behavior and not products, or something maybe along those lines. So if you want to watch that, then that will be the next video. But so yeah, if you would like to see that, then follow along, and I will see you in the next video.